We all know how much Amazon sucks. I hope you are still participating in the Amazon blackout. I have been since January, and I do not miss it. We all know that Amazon owns Kindle, and they also own Audible. And if you didn't think that they sucked enough already, there's some not great news out from Audible this past week. This was published in The Guardian on May 13th. Audible unveils plans to use AI voices to narrate audiobooks. I've actually had a long gripe with Audible. I made a video months and months ago where I was like, hey, authors, I know that they offer you a big, fat, cushy, lucrative deal to do Audible exclusives, to have the first book in your series or maybe your whole series be available only exclusively on Audible. And that really sucks for people who may have limited vision or have reading disabilities and really rely on audiobooks. It means that your title will not be available at the library. And I personally see, probably because two of my kids are dyslexic and also because I almost exclusively listen to audiobooks, even though I'm a very visual person, I am rarely able to find the time to sit down and read a book. And so when I'm out working in the garden or I'm, doing dishes or I'm on my daily walk or whatever, I'm always listening to an audiobook. But for my kids with dyslexia, audiobooks are not merely about convenience, they're about access to literature. And so it's so frustrating for me to see so many authors have these exclusive contracts with Audible, and that means that their readers with disabilities do not have equal access to their material. You know what it's like when you find a narrator who's just exceptional at their job, who can do all the voices really well and makes the story come alive. It can absolutely transform the experience of a book to have a good, strong narrator. What a highly skilled and really appreciated profession. Over the last 6 or 8 months or so, when I am searching for books on Libby from the library, more often than not, I find myself searching an audiobook narrator's name rather than an author's name. So honestly, it really fucking sucks to see Audible, who I understand, again, not surprising coming from an Amazon-owned corporation. We know how Amazon treats all of their employees. We know how little they like to pay their human workers, how human beings contributing their life hours, their skills, their effort, their labor. Right? They want to have everything mechanized in their warehouse and hire as few people as possible. They want to have drones and shit deliver your packages. So of course, they don't want to pay real human beings to narrate audiobooks. The Amazon brand Audible will offer more than 100 artificial intelligence generated voices in English and other languages. Joanne Harris, author of Chocolat, says Amazon's plans reduce, quote, what we love about storytelling to simple delivery of code. Audible has announced plans to use AI tech to narrate audiobooks, with AI translation to follow. The Amazon-owned audiobook provider has said it will be making its AI production technology available to publishers via select partnerships. We are bringing new audiobooks to life through our own fully integrated end-to-end AI production technology, reads an announcement on Audible's website. There are 2 options for publishers wishing to use the technology, quote, Audible managed production or, quote, self-service, whereby publishers produce their own audiobooks with the help of Audible AI technology. So Audible's claim here is that this is about accessibility. They want to make every audiobook available in every language, and they think AI is the way to do that. Don't be fooled. They don't care about, corporations don't care about you, and they don't care about access, they care about profit. Bob Kerrigan, the chief executive for Audible, says, we'll be able to bring more stories to life, helping creators reach new audiences while ensuring listeners worldwide can access extraordinary books that might otherwise never reach their ears. Right, reach their ears for the high exclusive subscription price, right? Because if it was really about access, you wouldn't require your authors to sign exclusive deals with you, meaning that only people who can afford your high cost of access could listen to audiobooks. You would make sure that authors had the option to let their audiobooks be released to the public library if what you really cared about was access, right? Right, Audible? Honestly, it's so fucking insulting every time a corporation does something to enhance their profit margin, to see how many more people they can lay off, how many fewer human beings they have to pay, while also raking in more and more money. And then they try and tell us that it's about them doing good, that it's about accessibility. Fuck off. Audible's announcement has been criticized by writers, translators, and voice actors. This short-sighted scheme reduces what we love about storytelling to the simple delivery of code, says author Joanne Harris. In an age of declining literacy, I can't think of anything more likely to put people off of listening to audiobooks altogether. Kristen Atherton, who has narrated more than 400 audiobook titles on Audible, said human narrators actively sell audio content by being good at their jobs. The idea that you can replace a narrator with a computer-generated voice is... I mean, we already know the American public is hugely opposed to AI in the workforce. They are hugely apprehensive about AI in general. We know employers are they're real pumped up about AI because they can hire somebody to just code that shit and replace who knows how many actual human beings in the workforce. You don't have to offer medical, dental, and vision to your AI. You don't have to pay into Social Security for your AI. You don't have to offer paid vacation and sick leave to your AI. Your AI will work 24/7, 365. You can exploit the shit out of it and it won't try and form a union with other programs. What we're seeing with audiobooks is what we are seeing with visual art. We don't want to have to pay artists. We don't want to have to pay actors. None of these artists, none of the human contribution of art into our society is deemed as important by these corporations as enhancing their profit margin. The art, and it is art, of a good audiobook, I completely agree, is the crack in the voice at the moment of unexpected emotion, the wryness of good comedy timing, or the disbelief a listener feels when one person can convincingly be a whole cast of characters. No matter how human an AI voice sounds, it's those little intricacies that turn a good book into an excellent one. AI cannot replicate that. Stephen Briggs, who voiced many of the audiobooks of Terry Pratchett's Discworld novels, said the use of AI to replace human creativity is in of itself a dangerous path. While actor and audiobook narrator Deepti Gupta said, we need to create more, not less space for BIPOC narrators. And these AI tools are a new way to marginalize and colonize voices that need to be heard. What an excellent point. Nicholas Smiley, who translates Swedish and Norwegian lit into English, said that these AI developments produce a glut of mediocre results that no one really wholeheartedly enjoys. Yep. Time after time, generative AI has been shown to produce the lowest common denominator results, while human translators, while fallible, use personalities and the serendipity of the human mind to produce unique solutions to linguistic and literary problems, thereby creating art. Prominent literary translator Frank Wynne said, no one pretends to use AI for translation, audiobooks, or even writing books because they are better. The only excuse is that they are cheaper, which is only true if you ignore the vast processing power even the simplest AI requires. That's very true. We know the carbon and water cost, the cost of the electric grid of AI is very high. In the search for a cheap simulacra to an actual human, we are prepared to burn down the planet and call it progress, he added. This topic is yet again the perfect chance to bring up the conversation of what kind of America do we want to have? What future do we want? When we're all done stopping the fascist takeover of the US by Donald Trump, we can't go back to what we had in October. What America do we dream of? Because I want an America that works for the American people, not for the oligarchs. I want to do away with oligarchy. I want to tax the shit out of the billionaires, right? I want an America where we all have the high quality of life that we absolutely can afford in the richest nation on earth. I want an America where we take care of the people and the planet, where we have fair share for everybody, where there is not this constant squeezing every last drop out of the working class, devaluing human labor, human insight, human expertise, human lives, and here, human artistry, in order for corporations and a few sick, fat, rich, fat cats at the top to get even wealthier. We can't continue to have an America that exploits the working class. We can't have an America that discounts artists, devalues workers, that puts money above people, that puts the wealth of a few powerful men and corporations above all else. I just want to encourage you, when you listen to stories like this about big corporations fucking over workers, think about what kind of regulations and what kind of policies you want in the America after Trump. Start dreaming of that and planning for that now.